Man, you guessed it. It's time for another monument sign. Cranking out the work. Let's do it. You guys kind of have your eye in on monuments. So hopefully I can just kind of hit the high spots on this one. But it's kind of similar to what you've kind of been doing. So let's just get into it. So we got the lay of the land. You got your main box, all your O9 here. Just the way this is set up, because these little kerfs actually get kind of closer together on this one. I went ahead and sent that over for a 3/16 bit, but the way layers are set up, the all the way through is kind of hidden under it. So if you look at this, don't think that I forgot the openings on the top lid. They're just hidden behind on this layer. It's just how I have to send it to route, but they're there. Again, just got to make sure that these kerfs don't get forgotten, because if the bit can't get in there, then en route won't route it. So sidecars, we have both sides there, everything's there. And then I went ahead and put the jigs together. You have your top arc jig a la, Loma Linda. You got, these are gonna be lift point jigs. I'm keeping those 090. You've got your main frames. They're just kind of thicker. You can see they just look weird. There should be 2 sets there. And then your sidecar jigs are nice little thin to win. Try to keep them slender. You got 4 sets there. So power box looks very familiar, just a little bit of adjustment, but this is a SOP mod. I took it directly from Eisenhower La Quinta that you just did, the curvy top. Don't tell anybody, but it'll just be our little secret, but we're doing one of those. Now, secondary, as it says right here, just in case, because we are not doing the letters, they're sending the LEDs and everything, so I don't know what they're using. Maybe they're using 6 volt, maybe it takes 4 power supplies to do their letters. I don't know. So just in case you need another power supply, let's say it's 12 volt, you just tell them, tell route to do another one of these. The point being that we're missing I took the switch plate off this one. So I'll explain where this goes, but just keep this on backup. So you'll do your primary. That's why I call it primary there. This will be the one because that has your switch and everything. Then only if you need that one. So you got your skins. These are for your sidecars, because again, this side's pretty big, so everything's kind of broken up. And then, this big boy, you got plenty of skins on this one. And again, this looks very familiar, Eisenhower, just a little birdhouse thing. Watch out for that little switch protector. You got your top lid there. And two Mjolnirs, nice and small, kept them compact. So look for that. And you're going to have some 1/2-inch flat cutouts. These are too thin to win. Again, like we say, we're all about the brass inserts, but now we're not doing brass inserts, but because these are so small, just make sure that these go directly to prep and they'll tap them. So these are just straight tap. All right, so let's go over it. In case you're not familiar, let's go over the main gist of this. You're going to have a center 11.5-inch wide main box. And again, this boy is, close to 100 inches. So it's as big as your table. This thing's bigger than you think. So you'll have this main box that's going to go all the way through. And it's actually what's going to be where the Mjolnirs attach. And then you're going to have what I'm calling 2 sidecars, which are almost 11 inches wide, and they will attach on both sides. You've kind of done this before. So you'll kind of get the big boy all done, and then you'll attach the framing to the sides, and then you'll skin this framing, and then you'll bring it all together. Now you'll notice that we'll get into this, but the sidecars are going to support brick. So sup Ezekiel's going to go out there when we're all finished, and he's going to go ahead and lay brick on top. So the sidecars need to support a little bit of weight. Like I also said, they're going to have to support some Instagram people just getting those snaps and whatnot, probably sitting on it. So just want to make sure that these sidecars are on there. So we'll go over that pretty good. So let's just get into it. So like I say, go ahead and do your main box. Nothing like, you got a little bit of Loma Linda action on top here. You're going to have a removable top, but it is asymmetrical. So the frame is symmetrical, but obviously you have a front and a back side and all that. So technically it's not. So watch out for your A, your B, your C, your D. That way they keep, where they're supposed to be there. But this side that doesn't have the switch has no skin. So that's why I'm saying is the skin in essence is sort of shifted over. So you'll have removable panel on this side, and you'll have the top is removable. But it dies out on this side, and then this side has no removable skin. So, so go ahead and build it up, slide it in. I went 2x4 on this because this thing's you're not gonna be lifting it with brick, but this thing's gonna be heavy. So I got a nice beefy system for lifting. Go ahead and slide into your 2x4, run your 2x's down, and then you'll have your standard 2x runs across. Try to get it symmetrical. I don't know what this measurement is. I could just give it to you right now, because you're like, I don't like to measure. So it's basically a foot. I'll just throw that right there. I haven't made the PDF yet. So close enough to 12. You got that. But you can see where if that comes out like that, then that will basically sit along the Mjolnir. So once this thing's plunked down on its pillars, then that 2x4 is essentially going to support across, and then those run up there, and then these guys will support. So you see how my method of my madness there is. So if you kind of get that close to 12 inches on both sides, tack it in like we do, and then that's going to be nice and supported there. These jigs, because we have all this room underneath, these jigs are going to be popping through, so you can tack it on the inside. And so as you notice, the frame for the center middle main box actually extends past all the way down, and our normal 2.5 pokes out. So this will be poking out. This will be basically grade. And then the sidecar boxes will kind of sit at ground level, probably backfill, make it look like it's, in there. But so anyway, this is the 11.5 inch wide frame. Get all that taken care of, put it all together. Now you're going to have these weird, just sticky outy frames that kind of, you can see where that's the main structure here. And then you're just going to have this little build out box with these little guys here. And then you're going to have this long snout sticking out on this side. That just sticks out. That's going to be for sidecar. So just frame that in, but there's, and then what you're going to do is once you get all this taken care of, your primary power supply goes here, just like you did with the Eisenhower. You'll have like an inside little bracket, tack that in there. And then hopefully you'll know by the time we get these LEDs. If not, we need to call and get an LED count to make sure. Otherwise, put this brackets for the optional, have them route it. And that's where the optional will go if we need it. I'd rather not have it in there though. That way there's room. Maybe put the brackets in. I don't know. Maybe go ahead and have route the brackets anyway. And then that way they're there. I just didn't want them to be in the way when you're trying to wire this thing. But maybe we put the brackets and then we just don't do a mark if we don't need it. Anyway, we'll jump off that bridge when we get to it. Run your skin through the roller a little bit. You'll see where you have like power side lines up. You got power there. You got power there. That's just all this power side. Because like I said, it's sort of asymmetrical. So get your frame all built, get all that taken care of. Then go ahead and skin this whole thing. Skin the 11.5 inch main box. Get it all closed up nice. Get it nice and strong. Because this thing's so big, it is indeed in 3 pieces. So you'll put that piece on there and you'll lords that to the front there. And then you'll go ahead and lords that to the out back there and close it all up. So then you're sexy there, all done. Now, once you get that done, go ahead and build up the sidecars. Now, I'm calling it port and starboard. So I know it gets confusing when you go right and left, but what's right and what's left when you're looking at it? Hence, nautical, boats, there's starboard and port. Now, port is left, starboard is right, based on the bow. So I called this the front of the sign. So this would be the bow. So on this side would be the starboard side facing us, and on the back side would be the port side. That would be the left side. So that's kind of how I did it here. So PRT, all these pieces are port. Technically the left side, you can see here where you'd be looking at the back of it here, and then that would be the front. And then on the other side, you've got your starboard. So look for STB. That's on all these pieces here. STB, are you down with me? And then you have port on this side. Now, once you get all these guys built, just get the frames. Don't skin anything yet. Then what you're going to do is lay this bad boy down like you do on one side. And then you're going to go ahead and put that frame, and it's going to line up. As you can see here, it's going to line up right along here. So you can see where this box represents where that frame hits. And it's going to utilize the skin here. And then I also have it attaching 2 frame points along the inside here. And then it's going to continue out and mate up with this little snout that sticks out the back, and it's going to mate up with the front out here. So that way it's this is a side view, but you'll have sidecar, you'll have your mainframe little snout thing, and then you have your sidecar here. Now I'm showing here, it's really important. Like I said, these things are going to be supporting brick. So we want to make sure we do lords, and you're going to shoot screws in. Again, I brought in some 12 inchers for you here. And I think we brought those from last time too. So you should have these available to you. So that way they can come right through. And I'll show you, I got some notches for that. So you see where each of these little custom little things here, these are going to give you the notches you need to access the screw in the back. So if you look here, I got notch there, and I got notch and notch. That right there corresponds to your 0.22. That lets you have a direct shot to the skin, and you're going to frap that down nice and strong. Now I also have some Cleco holes. I have those in orange on the reference sheet. Obviously the hole is not orange in real life. It's just a hole, so you can't really tell. But you can see where I have these orange C's. They're kind of in a straight line. That will probably, when you go to put the frame on, I know you're pretty good at this. You'll lay it, you kind of lay it, get it all lined, and then you kind of do some Sharpie references for yourself. You'll see that those will be lined up on the skin. Let's go up here. So you'll see where the orange holes will be for that'll kind of go right along there. Oh, let me go back to here. Let me say, so I have T for top and just the letters. So I have P for power for these kind of middle pieces. So the A, B, C, D, they go along the bottom, and then AT is top, BT is top, CT. That way you kind of know which one's which for the bottom. Now, because these are asymmetrical, because where these holes for the sidecars land kind of made them asymmetrical. So you can see where that hole for CT. So it's just important to make sure that's in the main frame before you close it up, kind of going backwards there. To just make sure you get the BT and the B and all that stuff. Anyway, so that's that. So get the sidecars made, and then that's how you'll be able to just shoot screws on there. But use these Cleco reference holes, the orange ones. Where were those orange ones? Where'd you go? There they are. Yeah, so on the main skins. So again, they won't be orange, but you can see where they'll line up right along there. So just look for those. Anyway, and then you're just gonna mimic that all the way around. Get those frames on there. And then go ahead and put your skins on. Once you got both sides, get the frames on there real good. Then you'll have a triple stack of frames. So I know I'm jumping around here, but hold on. So you'll have this sidecar frame, which is, almost 11. You'll have this main frame, and then you'll have the sidecar. And you know that our bends will be nice and round. So I was thinking that these frames are going to be like, this Bondo seam will be crazy. And we had issues before of trying to make that disappear, and who knows what's up. So I went ahead and, did the cost of doing a permanent piece of 09, and that's going to go along the front. It's going to be a permanent skin. You'll see you have Cleco alignment holes here. So you're just going to go ahead and lords this on really well, and that's going to go ahead and close up those seams for prep. And it's actually going to be, just spend a little bit, and then it's going to be a lot better. So you'll lords these on. So once you get sidecars all skinned up and everything, you'll lords this on, and then you have one on the backside that'll kind of close up the backside. You see it there. So same thing. So that way all three frames will be one. And it also, because this thing's already going to be super strong, but this will give you torsional rigidity. It'll give you shear strength and stuff. So that way you can't like twist it like a dish rag or anything. Go ahead and close up your frames once you're done. Lords on these skins. And then your Brisas like stud holes are already there. But then I think that should do it. Once all that's done, that's ready to go out. It's pretty straightforward. You got your Mjolnirs, you got your cut list. So other than it being pretty big and you just have to attach sidecars, this is not, this is right up our wheelhouse. It's how we roll. So you'll see where it's notched out just like Eisenhower. That's your power spot there. So, this little guy's permanent. Because the skin kind of kicks out, I went ahead and made the skin die out, and it goes back to flush with the frame just for all this nonsense. You'll see that because the brick is going to be supposedly 3 inches tall, plus it's going to have like a hardy backer and stuff. So it's probably going to be closer to 4. So you can see where this purple is the permanent little skin piece, and our brick will be like right about here. So, and then that way our door starts there. So you'll have a seam that's visible, but oh well. But make sure you don't miss that. We do that sometimes. I think even on Loma Linda and stuff, some of them have a permanent little bottom piece, and then our door starts. So keep an eye out for that perm. Get that Lord's on there. That'll be for the brick. And then you don't have to worry about anything over here. This is all permanent side. And then when it comes time to wire this, like I said, we're going to be provided a paper pattern from whoever. And then we're going to have to install that on here and drill our holes. And then I did the best I could to give you as much room without having to have a door on this side. So you can kind of access everything from the top and kind of work your way over and get your wires and stuff. So like I said, maybe we can conference, possibly, maybe it is okay to put these brackets in just in case. And then this is Alma's job too, so we can talk to her and see if she can get a rundown for LEDs, how much power. And then in our new way we're doing stuff, make sure these will need the Frosty letters. But again, since we won't have the file, we're going to have to ask for a digital version of their letters, so that way we can cut out a vinyl, and then we're going to have to put the vinyl on with the pattern and all that. So a couple extra hoops to jump through, but let's not do that like we're doing. There's your cut list. These guys here, I went ahead and did for our lift points. I kept it 090, trying to keep it on the cheap tip, inexpensive tip there. You're just going to go ahead and burn those, just kind of line up the point right there, and then just kind of burn it on both sides. That'll be your lift point, nice and strong. I even gave you a little plug weld, rosette weld there. Again, just trying to, because this thing's going to get heavy. We're not lifting it with the brick, like I said, but it's going to be heavy. So we want to make sure that's all welded up really nice. So there's that. Let's see. Just want to make sure I got everything covered. I think that's it. So right on. Yeah, well, if you have any questions, that's it. If you have any questions, hit me up.
Check the technique. Check the technique.